Mm. Young children need lots of repetition to memorize new words or to understand new concepts. So today, the learning objective for this video is to understand that children learn with repetition and how children learn from repetition. So let's get started. I am sure you have children asking you to read again and again the same books. And perhaps within yourself, you say, oh, not that book again. Oh, and then, but they're so excited and they really want to read the book again. So there's one thing is very crucial to understand is why repetition, why they want this again and again and again. Well, basically, young children have a very short concentration span because they are very little. So, and it takes them longer to process the new information, and it takes them longer to memorize what they are experiencing. And so, for example, the brain needs more time to process the information at hand, and they need time to encode new information. So when they're looking at a picture on the book, it takes the process takes much longer for them. And so the repetition will help them to memorize and understand what's happening. For example, an infant might want to read a book, including a mirror, and or a sensorial book. Often is very popular with the books like that with very young children. And they might be fascinated at the mirror when they finally see themselves, and all of that, they need to process it. They need to understand that actually the mirror is themselves. There's a lot of different layers of understanding and discovering when a child is looking at a book or exploring a book. So also a child, the second aspect that we need to take into account in anything 2D, it takes longer for the child to process. So 3D life experiences, the child is playing and now the child is touching a car, he can feel the car, you can say the name, oh, this is a car, or he can see, he walks. All his senses are completely with him when he's experiencing the 3D world. Whereas a book is 2D, it's not 3D. So it's a different learning source. The child will also, he needs to understand, suddenly he's presented with pictures that are flat, and it's not a little boy or a cup. Suddenly the cup is flat. He can't touch it. So all of that is also something that he needs to process. And it takes longer for a young child to understand the 2D world. So that's quite an important aspect. He needs to encode all these new features that he's experiencing or is exposed to. And basically, the young children, the memory development takes longer to encode than older children, and they forget quicker as well. They really forget quicker. And also the process of memorization. Reading a book 6 times rather than 2 times help your child learn and memorize common and complex words. So if you repeat constantly or repeat reading the book, the child will memorize those complex and common words whilst you're reading. And although for you as an adult, you might think, but I've said it 10 times. But no, for the child, it's like the first time. So he needs that time to really process within his life. And that's absolutely crucial for his development, cognitive development. So how can you support repetitive reading time, all you need to know is that it is a very important learning process for your child, and that every time you read the book, your child is opening new doors to his or understanding or her understanding of the world around her, or his world. And so there's when you read the book, instead of thinking, oh, I've got to read it another time, you can look at it from a different perspective. So, for example, you open the page and you see a different picture, or you can look at the color, or you can focus on one word, or you can try to relate the story to the child's life, to your child's life, and ask, okay, or look, for example, the little boy took the cup. Do you have a cup as well? What's your favorite cup in your home? It's just an example. But this will really spark their interest again. So all of these contribute to your child's cognitive skills. In conclusion, you just need to remember that this phase will pass. It's not going to be forever. It will pass, and they will be interested in new books. So you might get new books, and then they will ask you to read again those new books. But this phase will pass. But once you are with them reading the same book again and again, remember that in your child's brain, so much is happening, and simply thanks to that repetition, the child is learning lots of new things, and it's crucial, absolutely crucial for his development. Thank you very much. If you like that video, please like it and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you.